All right, guys. This is sports as we see it. I'm Alex. This is Trevor. This is just current sports topics through the eyes of a couple college kids. We This is gonna be a very organized show. We're just gonna say what we think. This is just our take on things, and like it or love it.
Yeah, like he said, the show is called Sports as We See It. We're not professionals here by any means, but right away we'll just start by introducing our crew. We got Stat Rat Austin Colbard. I want to say hi, Austin.
Hey guys.
And then we got our producer, Daniel Wood. He's probably not going to say hi. What we're going to do today is 3 segments. We'll start with Straight Talk, where we'll go 12 minutes on 4 sports topics. Probably go 3 minutes each. We'll try to stay around 3 minutes. We'll see if things get heated. We're going to let it ride, though, I think. And then we'll get into Score of the Argument. That'll be another 12 minutes, where our Stat Rat Austin Colbard will listen to our sports arguments and award a winner for each round. And then we'll get into some fan questions. We are not prepared for fan questions at all. We have some stuff for our Score of the Arguments and our Straight Talk, but fan questions will be straight out of our heads, and then maybe we'll get a last word in.
That's good enough for me.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Sports as We See It, presented by Wood Enterprises, for all your lawn care and baseball field needs.
Well, let's just get right into it.
Yeah.
Straight Talk. I'll throw out the first question here.
Yeah, we can just. Okay.
NHL versus NFL, the All-Star games. They kind of overlapped this past weekend. Who do you think did it better?
Okay. I'll open up with this one. I watched enough of the Pro Bowl to know that I think it's just a bad product, and it's just
The whole league?
Well, let's just start with the Pro Bowl. Okay, I think the Pro Bowl is a bad product because these are franchise players, the best players on their team, and you're asking them to go out there and play a vicious game. You know, the guys at any given time they could get hurt.
See.
So I think that they're not, they're not trying hard. They're arm tackling these guys and just kind of dragging them to the ground. It's not very competitive. And football's not. There's minimal skills to be showed off, really.
Yeah. And here's what I think. I think I'm a guy that doesn't watch hockey, doesn't know anything about hockey, and I watched my boy Romo take his drive, and I watched the NHL All-Star game. But I think the NHL did it far better. I watched one drive of the NFL Pro Bowl, and I said, that is enough of this. And I watched all of the NHL stuff. And the reason why the NHL did it better is because of the skills challenge.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think the skills challenge is awesome. Because that's what I'm talking about with football. Yeah. There's no skills challenge. You can't portray your skills.
And here's the thing. It's about showcasing your skills. That's what the NFL... The Pro Bowl needs to be about the best players in the world, showing off why they're the best players in the world. So maybe a skills challenge is the thing to do instead of a game.
And just you're thinking scrap the Pro Bowl and just go straight skills.
I'm suggesting it because I'd rather watch that than watch the arm tackling.
Well, yeah, and I'd rather watch J.J. Watt absolutely murder a tackling dummy and show off how hard he can hit a human being than drag down a franchise quarterback of the other team because he doesn't want to hurt him.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And the NHL Skills Challenge was so intriguing to me. And I've read stuff about the NHL All-Star Game itself, and a lot of like diehard NHL fans, they think that it's not what it used to be. But I think any sports team is kind of subjective like that. Any fan of a league kind of thinks that. I know a lot of people think the NFL isn't where it needs to be. Maybe that's a discussion for another day.
Yeah, no, and I'm sure, it was always done better, and it can always be done better.
Yeah.
Where you're at, you're never going to be content with it. The thing about the NHL is what I love if it was a few years ago, I think, I don't even know the year on it, but they brought in they did the draft, the fantasy draft of players,
Mhm.
and everyone loves that.
Yeah.
I think that's phenomenal. I mean the Pro Bowl has now done that as well, and I think it's awesome for the sport.
Yeah. NHL overall, I think we both agreed.
Yeah.
They did it
Oh,
better.
absolutely. Oh,
And
absolutely.
because they were able to showcase the best players, the best hockey players in the world, doing cool things while playing hockey, and the NFL did none of that.
Definitely him. Case closed there.
Okay.
All right, next question. What did you take away from the NFL playoffs? What's your takeaway on it?
Well, I took away quite a lot. I have some notes here. I took away first of all, that there's two quarterbacks that have a long way to go in being what we think that they're supposed to be. Number one is Aaron Rodgers, who's 31 years old now. 7-5 is his playoff record, and he has a losing record at home in the playoffs, which I don't think can happen. But we put so much hype on Aaron Rodgers, and he's 31 years old now, and I just don't know a lot of guys. There's talk of Brady being benched, and he's 37 years old after the Kansas City game. And people are saying he's too old. Rodgers is 31, so that gives him 6 years. 6 years? Can he bring 3 titles? I don't know. Another thing that I took away is that Andy Dalton is horrendous. He's not good enough to win a game.
And yeah, I want to jump in on that here because I had that as well. I think I took away quarterbacks as well. And no, I think Flacco proved that he's a playoff QB. Okay, and Andy Dalton proved that he is certainly not. And I think they're exact opposites of each other because I think Dalton gets it done during the season, gets his team to the playoffs, plays good enough quarterback to get there.
Mm-hmm.
In the playoffs, absolutely does not get it done. This year against Indianapolis, he was 18 of 35, 51% completion percentage, 155 yards, 0 TDs. He didn't throw any picks, so that's good. I mean, he didn't turn the ball over, but
yeah,
he did have one fumble.
He did have a fumble. Okay, so he did turn the ball over. Flacco, on the other hand, now is throwing up 259 yards against Pittsburgh with 2 TDs, 292 yards against New England with 4 TDs with 2 interceptions.
Yeah, but I want to interject now because another thing that I learned from the playoffs is that Joe Flacco is now a top 5 QB.
We talk about this.
He's a top 5 QB.
No, this is a topic that's on here.
He's a top 5 QB.
This is the top 5 QB talk, and I need the whole package to say he's a top 5 QB because I don't think he got it done during the regular season. I think he got to the playoffs because of his team, and then he decided he's going to show up and play some football for the Ravens this year. It's finally when he decided he was in the playoffs.
I think he's terrific. I think he has to be a top 5 quarterback, even if it is number 5, but he might be 4.
I think we're getting into another topic.
Speaking of top 5 quarterbacks, Andrew Luck, I learned that he is far from being anything close to what we expect of him. He is expected to be like the next Montana, and he 9 touchdowns, 12 interceptions in the playoffs with a 56% completion percentage. And you can say all this stuff. You can say that I'm only looking at his numbers and that. But I watched the game. I saw his passes. He threw inexcusable interceptions. I have to get to this point because I need to.
Yeah, so we go over. That's all right.
And it's what I learned is that Romo is close to being the best quarterback in the NFL. He's number 2.
Again, no, this is
number 2.
Now this is the top 5 quarterback thing again, and now you're staying consistent with your points about Rodgers not being as good as he should be, and Romo moving up. Romo, I'll say this: Romo played again with the best O-line in football this year, without a doubt. Best O-line, arguably the best receiver in Des Bryant, a top 3 guy for sure, and a running back who was an MVP candidate in DeMarco Murray. So I think his guys picked their game up this year, which allowed him to pick his game up. Now, what came first, chicken or the egg? Who knows?
Yeah.
So that's my take on that. Let's move on. I think we're over our time for that one here.
Yeah. Okay, for our third question, what is your Super Bowl headline going into Super Bowl Sunday?
I think what's going to make the difference in this game, I think, is if the Pats can stop Marshawn Lynch. I mean, the dude's an animal, and their run D has been weak. I think
the guy just runs.
He does. No, he doesn't.
Which
care.
No other back in the league does. Maybe Peterson.
We've seen Adrian Peterson do it, but this guy does it to an even greater level. I mean, I don't know the numbers on this, and I don't even know if it's a stat that you can look up. But yards after initial contact from a defender have to be, just absurd. I had another one I wanted to throw in here was the Legion of Boom versus Gronk. Now, with Richard Sherman potentially being out, that could change.
For the birth of his child.
Yeah. Okay.
You had a great quote. You share it with him, and I like it.
Yeah. Well, no. This is what Richard Sherman said that his boy, he knows it's a boy. His boy is going to be a disciplined young man and stay up in there until the game is over, so that he can witness the birth of his child. No, that's great. I love where his head's at. He's already disciplining his child, and his child already knows what to do. So that's great. I love that.
Good. He's gonna be a good young man. My headline is that Tom Brady has a chance to be, in my opinion, the greatest quarterback in NFL history with a win.
Yeah, and this is something that could have been talked about in the tape of the playoffs. I think it looked like he was playing for his job almost during the playoffs. He was on a mission. He's out to prove something right now.
It's like he has been for a large part of the season.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree with that.
But if Brady wins this, I don't even think there would be. Peyton Manning is obviously the greatest statistical quarterback of all time.
Right. Yeah.
But I think if Brady wins this, that gap is so big between them that I don't think you compare them as much anymore.
You're looking at, you're getting into numbers versus stats. Is kind of what it is, and I think the Peyton stats are there.
Numbers versus wins.
Stats versus wins. Sorry, stats versus wins. Brady has the wins. Peyton has the stats. I don't know. I read something interesting that Brady's so competitive, and I want to know when is his timing in New England up? I'm saying he's still performing at the level we expect him to as a quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah.
But
well, again,
are they going to shoot him out the door?
Yes.
I think they are too.
Yes.
I think you're absolutely. Yeah, I think.
Just like if I'm the Broncos right now, I don't want Manning anymore.
No, it's time to move on.
But that's horrible for me. I hate saying that because I love the guy, but I don't want him anymore.
No, you have to look at what's best for the organization.
Brady's never. The thing is, Brady's never going to want to leave, and they're going to have to kick it. They're going to have to kick it.
Yeah, I think he's going to. It's time.
Yes. We good to move on?
Yeah, we're going to move on to the next one here.
All right.
How does Gronk stay out of trouble and Johnny Manziel doesn't?
I don't think Gronk's as stupid. His stuff is so harmless.
Yeah, he's a big teddy bear, really. He's childish.
The Gronk section in Gillette has kittens on it. Pictures of kittens.
Okay, well. Is that
no? I'm waiting to see what you have left to say.
Here's my thing. I don't think that Gronk isn't as stupid. I think they are equally stupid. Here's the thing.
Stupid in different ways.
Stupid in different ways. Yes. They both like to party. Gronk is a far better player on the field than Manziel, and that's not even debatable.
Yeah, I think Manziel's bad news. I don't think he's a guy you want on your team anymore.
Yeah, he is, but if he was good, you'd put up with it. Which brings me to my point now about Gronk is that Gronk is out partying and doing stupid stuff after he was sat out of a game injured. Was it Super Bowl? Or like a playoff game? What was it? When did Gronk sit out? It was like a Super Bowl or playoff game. He was injured.
Yeah. He was hurt last year.
Okay, well he was hurt and he was seen at the bar partying and he had his top off and he's not running around. But here's the thing is that Gronk doesn't.
If I look like Gronk, I might not have a shirt on right now.
Yeah. Okay. and that's fine. But I think the point I want to make is that I think that Manziel. The difference is that they act the exact same, but Manziel says he's gonna get better. He's gonna be a professional, and he's gonna be a franchise quarterback. Where Gronk doesn't care. He talks openly about throwing players out of the club.
Yes.
He has no regard for growing up. He doesn't want to.
Yeah.
And he's not going to.
Manziel is he's like a rich kid, he's trying to be cool, and he's really not.
Yeah. Like Johnny's it's a popularity contest with him, whereas Gronk, I think that's genuinely how it is. I think Johnny's more of an act.
I read a great blog article about Manziel that said that what Manziel is dumb because he doesn't realize that all his buddies, like his social media pics with LeBron and Drake and all those guys, he's one bad year away from those guys losing his number.
Right.
Because he's
it's actually
the cool factor from Manziel is gone, and he's not smart. And I follow the kid on the Instagram, and I don't like what I see ever. It's nonsense repeatedly, and you don't see that with Gronk. And plus, Gronk is in a much better situation, New England compared to Cleveland.
And Gronk was not asked to be the saving grace of a franchise that's in trouble.
Yeah,
like Manziel has been on the Browns.
And Manziel will be bad and continue to be bad. He's bad news.
Yeah. Let's we got next segment here.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the argument. First question. Who is your midseason NBA MVP?
We get 2 minutes here each.
Okay.
That's how that's going to work.
Yeah.
I can start it off.
Yeah.
Well, I narrowed it down. When I was doing this, I narrowed it down to 3 players: Steph Curry, James Harden, and LeBron James. Numbers are pretty much comparable, except for LeBron takes about half as many threes, and he's averaging more points than Steph. Also, LeBron James shoots. His numbers are much lower in his free throws, and his numbers are much lower for 3-point. But that's not his game. He's shooting almost 50% from the field, and you know what he can do when he. We all know how LeBron can take over the game. He's the best player on planet Earth, no doubt. But, and this, I hate to say this, but I enjoy watching the NBA, and James Harden's been the funnest watch I've seen, and for that reason, I'm going to go ahead and take James Harden as my MVP. He's averaging 27, 6.8 assists a game, shooting almost 40% from 3-point, and shooting 45% from the field, with a nearly 90% from the line.
Yeah, I think
he's been the most exciting to watch, in my opinion, and that's why I'm going to go ahead and give it to him.
Yeah, I think.
Sorry, LeBron. I hate to do it.
I had 3 guys as well that I wrote down. We can agree on Steph Curry and Jim Harden. The other guy I had down was Tony Davis. Unibrow. Here, okay, so we got the stats on Jim Harden and Steph Curry. Tony Davis, important stats: points per game 25, rebounds 10, blocks a game 3, which is out of this world. I mean, that's nobody's doing that. Now, I want to give it to James Harden. He's been more dominant than Steph Curry is, I think.
Yeah, he's very exciting to watch.
Yeah, and he's a fun player. But to me, the most valuable player is, I mean, he has some guys around him. And Dwight Howard's kind of soft, and he hasn't been very good. And Steph Curry has Klay Thompson. But Tony Davis plays for the Pelicans, and I'm not a big NBA guy, so I don't know. And I might be wrong in saying this, but I can't even name another player on the Pelicans. I don't even know. Are they relevant? Are they a team? No.
You're correct.
Okay, so this is Tony Davis's Pelicans.
Yes.
So to me, I mean, so if where are they without him? And I mean, we're talking about getting rid of them. I mean, they're done. I think he's young, he's on the rise, and I might be jumping the gun giving it to him where he hasn't proven himself enough. But halfway through these numbers, I'm looking at him and he's averaging a double-double. And he's averaging 25 and 10, along with the 3 blocks. So he's playing defense as well. So,
which
I got Tony Davis MVP.
To rip apart my own argument, James Harden won't play defense. LeBron will play the best defense. Neither of these guys, Steph or Harden. Steph tries. He's a great effort guy, but he's just not the defender LeBron is. Plays both ends of the court, like James doesn't. LeBron does. But.
Next question. Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao. Does it happen? And who do you have?
First on this one. Well, just recently at a Heat game? At a Miami Heat game, I think. And Floyd Mayweather and Pacquiao are seen exchanging phone numbers. So that kind of leads me to believe it's going to happen. Pacquiao talked some shit on Twitter and said that there's no doubt he's going to beat Floyd, which I think is ridiculous. I got Floyd in this 100%. Pretty Boy Floyd is 47-0, 26 KOs, has a greater reach than Pacquiao, and he's 2 inches taller than him. Pacquiao is 57-5-2 with 38 KOs. So he's the fighting congressman knocks guys out. I mean, yeah, I'll give him that.
Yeah, not anymore.
No.
He's a congressman.
Well, yeah.
And a basketball player for a time.
Yeah, but I mean, I think the thing with Floyd is that Money Man, Floyd Mayweather, he's in the business of making money, and I don't think he's not going to take a fight that he's not going to win. 47-0 means more to him than the money does, I think. So I think Floyd wins this. I think it does happen.
You think it does happen?
Yeah, they do.
I don't think there's any way that it happens, because if it hasn't happened yet, it probably never will. And it's not as good as a fight as it would have once been, because Pacquiao's too old, and I don't really think he would be. I'm talking 8 to 10 on scorecards. I don't think some rounds would be close. And I think Floyd Mayweather is the greatest ever. There's not really a question about it. And I think he might be retired anyway. I feel like he might have fought his last fight.
Yeah, he could be. Yeah.
Third question. Is LeBron James still the face/future of the association?
I like this one.
Well, everybody knows LeBron's my guy, and this I feel very strongly about this one. He is most definitely still the face and the future of the NBA, and he will remain to be he'll remain to be the face of the NBA for many years. LeBron is I feel like he's head and shoulders better than everyone else in the league, and at times I feel like the league tries to pick that new face, like a Steph Curry or a James Harden, and I just wish that people would slow down and appreciate the greatness that we're watching right now, because we have probably less than 10 years to watch it, and he is tremendous. He is great, and he will be great. He will be the best player in the league for at least 5 more years, I think, and then he'll start to probably fall off, but he is most definitely still the face and future. Will remain to be for some time.
I got a different take on this. I think he's currently the face, and I think you hit it on the head when you said that they're trying to move him on. They don't want LeBron to be the face. It's Steph Curry in the commercials. It's Jim Harden in the commercials.
It's Kyrie Irving.
Absolutely. But I think on top of all that, I think LeBron's game is slowing down, and I know that his numbers are still there. I mean, you can't deny that they're still there. But injury this year, LeBron's game is take it to the rack, and no one can stop him because he's a freak of nature. But he's not going to be able to do that. How long is he going to be able to do that, I guess? He can't, come 5 years down the road, is he going to hold up? Is he going to be able to take it to the rack on a guy like Anthony Davis, who's swatting at 5 years down the road, eight blocks a game? We don't know. Is he going to take it to the rack on those guys? And now, given he can change his game and become a better shooter.
And he's shown. Does he have to remind you he's done it before? He has done it. He played in the post and was one of the most dominant players. It was one of his best years. Yeah,
I guess my take on it is that he's the face, not the future. I think he's slowing down. I don't think the NBA wants it.
Which is a mistake on their part. Do you want to agree with that?
No. I don't think it is, because I think you're going to see guys start to become better than LeBron. I don't think he's going to be the best player in the game.
The other players are bad.
Alex.
No,
you can't. No, no, they're not.
Yeah,
Steph Curry's
are. The kids coming into the draft now are not as good.
Okay, but you just said the other players aren't as good, but yet you didn't even pick LeBron as your MVP.
Yeah.
So Jim Harden's having a better year than him. Steph Curry and Tony Davis might be having better.
That's mid-season. By the end of the year, LeBron's gonna be my MVP. I know that. The guy just sat out 2 weeks. I saw.
Yeah. All right. I mean,
next question. And final question in the argument segment. Are you with or against Marshawn Lynch's interview game?
I can't. I hate it. But he knows. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's only going to do it if it's a win-win for him, and that's all he has done. If I was a reporter, I would not show up and give this guy the time of day. But probably because they were probably only there because their boss tells them they have to cover Marshawn's interview because they want to see him say, "I appreciate that. I appreciate you."
And I love that. I think that's yeah.
If anyone wants to, reporters come up to them and they say, "Why don't you want to talk to the fans that love you so much?" If the fans love you so much, go to YouTube and type in Marshawn Lynch. The guy's done interviews before. This is like a new thing. He's done. There's E60s on the guy. There's full. I've watched 20-minute interviews on the guy. He does it. If you really want to know his story, go look that up. We don't need this anymore.
I'm with Marshawn, I think, because here's the thing. Marshawn Lynch is not that intelligent. He's just not that bright, and I think even he acknowledges that. So when he speaks to the media, they're gonna misconstrue his words to how they see them fit, and what makes the best headline. Now, if that's me, I don't want to be manipulated like that. If you say these things, and all of a sudden they become not your words. They're not your words. No. And no.
Talking about pour himself a lemonade.
Have some lemonade. But no, I think that Marshawn's. I think it's fine. I don't have a problem with it. I think that if he's going to be made out to be an idiot, then why answer their questions? Yeah. And if the media is proven to not honor what he says anyways, and they're just going to say what they want anyway, so he's not going to give them anything to work with. And I think that's great. I think, Marshawn, do your thing, man.
I'm sick of hearing it.
All right. What do we got?
That concludes
our top
argument section.
The
results. Today's winner is Al.
Yes.
A huge basis of my reasoning here is that Trevor was very back and forth with his opinions and thoughts on the NBA, who's the best player, how good is LeBron, what's he doing now, what's he doing later, James Harden, why is he so good?
Just salted.
Be salty if you would like, Trevor, but in the inaugural episode, Al takes home the victory in the argument portion of this show.
Let's go to our next segment before he's done. He's mad.
I don't know how much more losing I can take.
Well, Trevor, next week you're gonna get another shot at the crown. But I'll tell you this, Trev. The hardest thing about being on top is staying on top.
Let's move on.
I'll tell you this now. I'll give you one. Happy birthday.
Oh my!
Now we got fan questions, and as stated earlier,
keep the crown warm.
Hey, hush up.
All right. Let's hear it.
Fan questions, as stated earlier. These questions were brought in from people on the outside. Al and Trevor do not have any information on what these two questions may pertain. So here we go with the first one. What is your take on Deflategate?
You hate it. You hate this.
I do. I think it's preposterous.
Why?
They did it. They didn't do it. It makes no difference in the game. Other teams have absolutely done it. Brad Johnson came out and said he paid guys $7,500 in the Super Bowl to do it.
Brad Johnson did?
Now Brad's one of the greats. Look it up. Brad Johnson, Buccaneers against the Raiders, 2002 Super Bowl? 2002 Super Bowl, sure.
That game was a blowout. Anyway.
Well,
Again,
that Super Bowl will never ever happen again in the history of the NFL.
Buccaneers in Oakland.
Yeah, that will never happen again.
Next year.
No. Anyways, Deflategate. Well, I just said it to you. The hardest thing about being on top is staying on top, and everyone's trying to knock you down. And here come the Colts in the NFL just chucking pebbles up at Belichick and his boys up on their pedestal, and they're trying to knock them down, and it doesn't faze them. Bill knows he's cheating. They probably did it. Bill knows he's cheating.
Oh, Will knew he did it.
Yeah.
Yeah. They knew it. They absolutely knew what they did. Can we both agree that everyone involved knew what they were doing?
Yeah, I don't even think that's that much in question that they knew that they were doing it. And I guess it's more of a question of, do we have a problem with it?
I do.
You do it?
Yeah, I do.
Let's hear it. What's your problem with it?
I do have a problem with it just because I just want the Patriots are so great that I just want them to be great without this. And this is not the first thing that everyone knows about that. And
Spygate's still over their head. That's part of why this is such a big deal, I think.
And again, I don't think they were the only team doing that. I know you basically know they weren't the only team doing that, but I just want my great teams to be great without any question. And that game is not close if they use Nerf balls anyway.
No, it's absolutely not. I don't think that it played a difference in the game. It certainly didn't.
I hate that we have to talk. I hate that we have to talk about it on Super Bowl though. Like that.
Yeah. It's like it's overshadowing it. I agree. Statman's got some. Let's hear it.
So what do you want to look up there? I found in the Washington Post posted 9 days ago, Brad Johnson paid $7,500 to have his Super Bowl football scuffed up in the 2003 Super Bowl.
Okay, I don't know rules and regulations on balls. Anyways, Brad Johnson's doctoring balls, and that's what a savvy vet in the league does, I think. I think Brad is a savvy vet.
How bad did he want that Super Bowl?
He didn't want it. He needed it.
He's like,
he had to have it.
This is the biggest fluke. I need this.
The fact that he's a Super Bowl winner is
terrific.
He probably laughs about it. He probably looks at his ring every morning, and it's like almost like a joke, kind of like I pulled the wool over everyone's eyes and became a Super Bowl quarterback.
Yes, I wish Grossman would.
Which he was serviceable. He was.
Yeah.
He was a serviceable quarterback.
Mm-hmm. Well, and Keenan McCardle.
Oh, Keenan was one of the boys now, though. Let's get to our fan question here.
For our second and final fan question, what are your thoughts on the Super Bowl halftime performer Katy Perry and Super Bowl quarterback for the Seahawks Russell Wilson possibly dating? What are your thoughts?
Oh no, this is gonna get you going. Because you don't like that.
I despise Russell Wilson, and this is my thing. I think he's a scumbag.
Coming off of riffraff.
Yeah, which
how do you come back from that?
I think Katy Perry's got some demons. I think. Katy Perry, don't mind you, she produces bangers. Katy Perry, I mean, like, we love her music.
And I don't.
Yes, you do.
No, I do not. Don't.
Everyone loves it. Yes, you do. Okay.
No.
That's non-negotiable.
No.
The other thing is that I want to talk about, though, is Russell Wilson's been rumored to have, like, pretty sure about 95 girlfriends this season already. I think he's a scumbag. I think he's a closet scumbag.
He had a tough time with the divorce, maybe. But that could be it. More than that. But that is... I didn't know about that.
I didn't know. This is new. This is the first I've heard about it. This is absolutely preposterous. That's an excellent question.
What is? Does Katy Perry wait for him after the game?
Yeah, I don't know.
Win or lose?
She's probably gonna.
Coming off of riffraff.
Yeah, and that's not even more to my point about Russell Wilson being a scumbag.
The thing
you're gonna be where riffraff's been. That guy is greased. He is greased up.
Well, I don't know. They're both kind of weird. They both have their weirdness. Like Russell Wilson, stop whispering to us.
Yes, it had to be said. It's the most awkward thing. He just does it. You don't really.
He's whispering and he's going like this.
It's almost like it's like 12:30 and he doesn't want to wake up his parents. That's
Yeah.
kind of like what it reminds me
Yeah.
of. Like it's like, oh, very quiet.
And he's in an attic
Yeah, which
or an empty
they
warehouse.
don't explain anything of that.
No.
I don't care. Whatever.
That's a cool fan. That's a cool fan.
Yeah. If I'm him, though, I'm in heaven. I mean, hopefully, after the game, Katy Perry comes up and flops her pigs and he's...
That's good.
All right, guys, can we get your final thoughts?
Yeah, I have a last word, and it is about my boy, Bryce Harper. He's 22 years old, and I think that he's poised for that big year. Griffey's big year came at this age, too. He had 45 home runs at age 23, but Bryce is going to be 23 this year. It's just
a little bit behind.
in October. So he's a little bit behind, but I think this is the year their MLB season's line up when Griffey broke out. And I think Bryce is going to do the same, and he might just win himself an MVP, and I hope he does.
I like that. That's bold, and I like that, though. I think he kind of has. He's slumped last year. I mean,
What if he does bad again, though?
I think Nationals are concerned. I think the MLB is concerned. Or loving it, actually. I think about that. They might be loving it.
I don't know, but I think he's poised for he's too good to not be good. And last year in the playoffs, he seemed like he wanted it more than anyone else. He was terrific, and I think he's poised for a big year. MVP.
Yeah.
And maybe a ring. He'd be LeBroning the MLB. He'd go ahead and win his MVP, win his World Series.
Yeah, sure. I think at a fairly young age.
And then takes over Mike Trout's place as Trout strikes out 200 plus times, which he's going to do.
That's actually funny that you said that.
Love Trout too.
I could see that happening. Because I was just talking about this with someone the other day. I don't think Trout's going to perform as well this year, and I think they might just flip. They could, where Trout has a lesser season and Bryce Harper
That's the big year.
Goes off a little bit. Mine has nothing to do with sports. Actually, I want to talk about the usage and acceptance level of eating Cheetos. And now I just thought of this. Look, this is literally like this is my final thought.
And I know,
at the end of the show, this is what came into mind.
And I know where you got the Cheetos thing from. Why that was in your mind.
And that can't be discussed on the air. The fact of the matter is, I just came up with this number in my head now, and I think that once you are done with school, whether it be college education, high school, or graduate school, whatever it is,
the Cheetos go away.
The Cheetos go away. You can't. And here's the thing. With that, you have stuff on your hands everywhere. It ends up everywhere. You're like a little child. You're just leaving your tracks everywhere. Just like you can walk into a room and see like a little tiny orange spot, and you're like, oh well, great. Trevor just had Cheetos. That's terrific. At some point, that needs to stop. You need to lose the Cheeto fingers. Put a stop to the Cheeto. It goes for Doritos too. Like
I think there's acceptance level of Cheetos. You can't bring Cheetos into class.
That's coward. That's cowardly. I would venture to say it's cowardly.
I would too. That was great.
All right.
Terrific stuff.
That's my final thought.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's Sports as We See It, presented by Wood Enterprises.
Hi, Mom.
Well.